Okay, everyone, good morning. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Katie Town, Regional Marketing Manager for AGCO. I think we can all agree one of the first steps to almost any purchases we make these days is going online and doing a search. And more often than not, that is from our mobile phone and lands us on various sites to get all the information we are looking for. I have to admit, last night, due to a scheduling conflict, I even ordered groceries through a website application right from my phone, which were delivered to my doorstep. So it is absolutely critical that your customers are able to find you digitally. So today we will have Kaya and Liz, subject matter experts with AGCO Direct, taking us through our website program, including some best practices and discussing what makes a good site, which I might add does not need to be complicated, but it does need to have some key features and functionality, as well as easy for your customers to find what they are looking for. So with that, I will hand it over to Kaya to get us started.
Thank you, Katie, and good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. We're going to cover a couple different things here. First, we're going to talk about why you need a website, and not just a website, but a good website. So we'll talk through that. And then Liz is going to jump into the dealer website program that is available through AGCO Direct and talk about what's included, the different packages. We'll do a deeper dive into a few of the neater features and then take a look at some samples throughout the presentation. So Katie mentioned it when she introed, but really you need a good website because people are looking for your website. They are looking for not just you, but the products you carry online. That's their first go-to for whatever they are researching. And shows 97% of consumers go online to find and research local businesses. So even if they're familiar with you, they're likely going online to learn more about you, get your contact information, find out what inventory you have online or what inventory you have available on the lot. And 80% of customers start their tractor shopping experience online. And that is really starting with that research phase, going into Google or the few folks that go to Bing and typing into that search box, looking at, I'm looking for a tractor that can mow my 30 acres, or I need, something for small hay. So they're looking for you online, whether you would like to believe that or not. And then, again, Katie mentioned this as well, but people are using their phones more than ever. And on the right-hand side, these are data points from the Massey Ferguson website. And you can see these are actual customers. This is your audience that we're looking at. They're just visiting the Massey site. Over 55% are visiting from mobile, and over 10% are visiting from tablet. So when you look at that, you're looking at over nearly 70% of visitors and traffic to that site are not at their computer. So we need to make sure that your websites are able to accommodate those visitors as well. So with that, it's got to be responsive, and that means that everything, it doesn't just zoom in and out. Actually, things get restructured and resized and optimized so that people can engage with your website on either that phone or tablet. So the buttons change up a little bit, the structure changes, the navigation. It's really optimized and intended for viewers on the screen that they're looking at, whether it's desktop, mobile, or tablet. In 2018, looking at all sites across the board, 58% of site visits were from mobile. So again, the Massey Ferguson website is very much in line with that. Mobile devices make up 42% of time spent online, and I would guess that that has actually increased. And if you take the people who have to work online during the day out of that, it probably skyrockets. And the mobile bounce rate comes in at 50%. So if your website is not really designed for the mobile user, they're not going to spend much time on your website. The other thing that's really important is your website is really the hub for all of your digital marketing. And over the last few years, we've seen dealers shifting away from traditional and spending the lion's share of their budget with print and radio, and shifting and incorporating more digital marketing. That's not to say your traditional isn't an important part of your mix and that you want to keep print and radio and billboards and all of that. But with digital marketing, most of the activities either require or are strongly enhanced by having a good website. So, and even in your print ads, I would imagine almost all of you put your URL in your print ads, or you say visit our website in your radio spots. But when it comes to activities like paid search, so if you're running paid per click ads on Google or Bing, you have to have a really good landing page or website to go to. And with a lot of dealers, what has become kind of a quick fix is they haven't wanted to invest in updating their website, so we'll do a landing page for them. And as Liz is going to show you, you can actually get a full website for almost the same cost as a landing page now, based on the program that's available. So just keep that in mind as she goes through things. But with the advertisements that you place online, it's important that you provide a good landing page, good content for people to visit and read through once they click or engage with your ad. Whether that's a display ad or a Facebook ad, maybe it's an email that goes out, or even now text messaging. A lot of times we're linking to a video on your website, or maybe it's requesting a quote through your website. Any of those activities, they're just so integrated with your website. So it's important that your website continues to grow and enhance with the different technologies that are available. So we talked a bit about why you need a good website. We also added in a slide about the common objections that we hear as we're talking through the opportunity for new websites with different dealers. So the first one is we don't have the budget. We hear that a lot. The program that Liz is going to take you through is really designed to make websites very affordable for you. And the other thing we'll talk through more is they are co-op eligible, so that also makes your out-of-pocket cost a lot less. The website is your number one marketing asset. People are visiting there first and foremost, so it's important that you're allocating an appropriate budget to getting a website up and then maintaining it. And we're not talking a $50,000 website. Even our most customized websites that we've built for the largest dealers are not $50,000. They're about half that. So, and that's fully custom, but they start at $2,000 out of pocket. This is my favorite. Everyone's got a guy, and they can build a site for free, whether it's your nephew, neighbor, kid next door. Everyone's got a guy who says they can build a site for free. More often than not, you're getting what you pay for. So if you get a free website, it's not going to last you very long, and it's going to be missing some really important functionality and user experience components. So really proceed with caution if website design is not their profession. If it's something they kind of dabble with or they took a class 10 years ago, really think that through. There's a lot of things that go into effective site builds, like search engine optimization, responsive design, user experience, site speed. There's a lot of factors, and they're things that the average dabbler is not going to really consider as they're building out a free site. Next, we hear this a lot in ag is dealers saying that their customers don't use computers. And I would argue that because smartphones are computers. So even if they're not spending much time on their desktop, we know that they are spending a lot of time on their smartphones. And we want them to be able to engage with you and communicate with you through those smartphones via your website. And like we said earlier, smartphone users are outpacing those desktop visitors pretty much across the board now. And another one we hear is we don't sell online, we don't have e-commerce, so why do we need a website? Again, just because they're not buying a tractor online doesn't mean they're not researching both the equipment and you. So we want to make sure that when they are going on to do that research, your dealership is coming up in those search results so that you're making that consideration stage for your customers. So I'm going to hand it over to Liz now, and she is going to take you through the dealer website program that's available through AGCO Direct.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz. So I just wanted to go over, first of all, some of the benefits to the dealer website program. First and foremost, it is co-op eligible. So AGCO will cover 60% of that cost. It fulfills CUE dealer excellence requirements, and it's cost effective. We also give you the option to feature your dealership and your equipment inventories. So each site is really focused on making your dealership unique, showing all of your offerings and making it easy for your users to contact you from there. Another benefit is that non-AGCO brands can be included on your site, so it doesn't just have to be AGCO, Massey Ferguson brands. It's also really easy to set up and manage. We use WordPress as our content management system, which is one of the easiest ones to use. So you do not have to be a web developer. You'll find that it is as simple as creating a Word document. There's a lot of similarities, which we'll go through later. Our sites are responsive. So like Kaya mentioned before, they are going to be formatted for mobile, desktop, and tablets. So no matter the screen size, it will be easy for your users to navigate. The templates are also flexible, which we'll show later, but essentially you can change the look of your site with a click of a button and things will format. That way you can keep things updated and fresh for your users. We also have built a lot of integrations for used equipment. So Tractor House we work with quite a bit. We can iframe their feed into your site, so all of your used equipment will be updated and you don't have to do it in two places. We also, if you don't use Tractor House or another used equipment listing, we also have our own inventory tool that allows you to add, manage, and delete inventory as needed right within the site. We provide all content development, so we'll have a writer research your dealership and write content specifically for it. And we also consider search engines when we're writing content and building the site. So your content will be optimized for users searching, and also all the technical requirements will be met. We also provide training for your site, so we don't just hand it over and then you're left to your own devices. We'll show you how to update and use your site. And we also offer support so that if you are not able to make a change or you don't have the time, we can do that for you. And you'll also get full access to analytics so you can see how your users are interacting with your site. So we have three different options with our website template. The first being the basic. So you get two theme styles that you can choose from. You see on the left is like the darker version, and then we kind of have our standard lighter version on the right there. 4 pages of content are included. That's going to be your home page, your equipment listing page, parts and service, and then contact. We'll also update the color palette so it won't just be limited to these 2 colors. We can match your dealership's brand standards. And these are really easy to get up and running. They take about 3 to 4 weeks tops to complete a site. So if you need something up quick, we can fulfill that need. And these are $5,000 before co-op. So after co-op, you're looking at about $2,000, which is super reasonable for a website. Our second offering is the standard website. These are what we build the most. There's multiple templates and themes that you can choose from. We'll customize the color palette to match your brand standards for your dealership. The content that we write for these sites is going to be much more tailored to your dealership and kind of going into detail. You'll also, with the standard, have access to more functions, such as we have a news feature, which is pretty much like a blog that you can showcase content, what's up and coming with your dealership, or articles about the products that you carry to kind of really position yourself as a leader in the industry. And people like to look at that stuff and know that you care and you want to contribute to what their needs are too. There's also a careers function, so you can post open positions with your dealership and get leads for job hunters there. We also have quite a few theme enhancements that we release throughout the year as we find new needs that dealers have. We build features and we'll update the theme so that you have access to those features, and we can do training with those as well so that you're fully equipped to know how to use it and optimize it from there. We'll also do WordPress updates and plugin updates, so your site will always be secure and updated. You don't have to worry about hackers. Sometimes you'll hear a lot about WordPress. People will say, oh, it's not secure. Well, it is secure if you're putting in the time and you have a team of dedicated people making sure that it stays safe. So we handle that for you. You don't have to worry about it. And these sites take on average about 6 to 8 weeks to complete. So a little bit more time, but once we're done, you have a really full, robust built out site. And these run $13,000 before co-op, so we're looking at about $5,200 after co-op. All right, and then the last option is our custom website. So these ones are really dedicated and will address different needs that maybe the custom or the basic can't do for you. So these ones, we will design a custom site map. We'll go through the different functions that you need and information that you need for your website and create kind of a custom plan from there. The design will be completely different. We take in your brand standards and create custom page designs. We'll build out additional pages and sections as needed, and this is something we found more and more dealers have been interested in, and so I can show you in a little bit what that looks like with additional content. We also have additional features that we can build in, different options for using or building in used equipment searches, social media feeds, and we've built quoting tools as well. So to kind of start the custom website process, we'll usually just have a phone call discovery session and kind of figure out what your needs are, and then we can provide a timeline and budget estimate from there. We found these start at around $18,000, so you're looking at about $7,200 after co-op. So here is just an example of the flexible templates. What you're seeing right now is the same website, but with a click of the button, you can change how the home page lays out. So if A, B, and C are different layouts, all the content is the same, but you can just see how with, like I said, a click of a button, you can really change up that look. And here is what it looks like in the admin and the back end of your website. So you select the layout, and then from there you can input the content. It makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about formatting. You just fill in the fields like heading, subheading, adding an image, and from there it will format it for you, and then change it up if you want to change out the layout. It will automatically do that for you. You don't need to know how to code or add anything like that. And here's just an example of a couple different layouts that we have done for other dealers. So you can see there is a little bit of a similarity to them, but with using different color palettes and the different layouts, you can really tailor it to what you want to feature as a dealership. So the editing of the site is super simple. We use WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. It's a text editor, really similar to like what you would see in using Word. Here in this little screenshot, you can see formatting like bold, italics. You can add lists. You can align and add links as needed. There's also a library of images built in that you can choose from, or you can upload your own, which we'll see in a little bit here. And then also you don't have to have any sort of photo editing tools. You can rotate and crop and position images how you would like right within WordPress, which is really nice. Also, we have a search engine optimization tool built in called Yoast. What this does is it makes it really easy for you to see how the search engine optimization works and make changes. So in some of these previews, you can see the meta description, and we'll write all of this and optimize it for you, but just so you can have an idea and feel like you're in control of some of this information, the tool will let you add in information. You can type in what you would like that description to be. So on the left here is kind of an example of how a page would display on Google search results, and how you can actually, you have the power to edit that preview text. And what this tool will do is tell you how many, if you're using too many characters or too little, it'll kind of give you a guideline there. They also have like an analysis tool. So it can kind of show you some issues like, oh, there's some broken links on your page, or this description length is not long enough. And also it'll show you how to use focus keywords. So knowing which keywords to use to optimize your site if you want to create a new page and you're not sure which keywords to use, it will help you out there. All right, and then the analytics. We will have full access to reporting via Google Analytics. This is something that not a lot of other website builders will offer you. A lot of times they hold this information close to them. So it's nice that you will have the power to access your Google Analytics at any time. There's no extra cost. You're not restricted. And you can really see how your users are interacting with your site in real time. And then we'll also provide you quarterly reports and traffic analysis, so we can see how it's performing, and we can make recommendations if we see something that could be performing better. We can do that. One of our newest features that we've been getting a lot of dealer requests for, so we kind of started building this in, is detailed product pages. This is now available on all standard and custom websites. It includes product literature, photo specifications. What we've found is it's really helpful if you are trying to feature a specific product and drive traffic to that page and to keep people on your site. It's really critical to have all those product details so they're not leading off of your website. They're getting drawn to your contact form or getting drawn to call your dealership. This is also helps improve search engines because you have all of that product information right on your website. Again, they're not leaving, and you can see how these users are interacting with it through analytics and dashboard tracking efforts. There's also additional conversion opportunities that we've been able to leverage with this page. So there is a request a quote button that can lead users to filling out a form that will be emailed to you, so you can get name, contact information, and even a description of what they're looking for. We've also been able to tie in offers with specific products, and so if a user is looking at a product and an offer that applies to that product appears on the page, it can spur them to make that next step and see how they can, if they're able to finance this or what their options are, and then to contact you from there. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. The inventory plugin, we've been seeing a lot more people use, especially for the basic sites. A lot of people don't have Tractor House or different tools like that for their used inventory. So we integrated this inventory plugin for all theme types. This is designed for you to add, manage, delete your own used equipment listings right within the website. It also allows users on the front end to filter used equipment by industry, category, manufacturer, and equipment type or condition. So I'm just going to pull up our sample site here so that you can get a really good idea of what the website looks like on the front end and the back end. So you'll see here, this is just our kind of master template, kind of a sample site so that you can kind of imagine what your dealership information would look like plugged into here. So on the home page, we have the slider. This can link to more like a product on your site, or it can link externally. We've had a lot of dealers use this if they have an event going on, like a demo days, and they have a sign up on their Facebook. We'll create a image on the slider that links to that sign up. So there's a little bit of flexibility within there. We also have these calls to action section that they're easily editable. And here's some additional here. This is just with some test information. So I will just show you how this looks like on the admin portion of it. So we were just looking at the external version. This is how it looks like would you be managing, and we've shown us a few screenshots. So right now we're on layout B, but if you wanted to change it so that you just have the slider and the 3 calls to action, you would just select that layout, and then you're able to preview any changes before you make them. So if you don't like it, you don't have to publish it and go live. So here's the preview. You can see everything has formatted to that layout, and everything is aligning properly. You don't have to go in and add any code or mess with the layout. It's good to go. And here is in real time kind of what we showed some screenshots of. So for the sliders, if you want to add in an offer, it will just have you pop that in here. You don't really have to worry about this snippet of code here. And it explains how to use it too, but this is the only area where you'll see something like that. Heading, really easy. Anything with an asterisk is required. So we show you what you need to enter in to make it so it looks good and it's formatted, but you don't have to type in extra. So there's a lot of things that they're available to you, but you don't have to enter if you want to keep it simple. And then the next thing I wanted to show, since we talked a little bit about it, is the content pages for products and what you get with each theme. So on a basic theme for the equipment products, the pages are going to be built out to this level. So on a basic site, you'll have your Massey Ferguson or whatever product listed like this, and this link will actually then take you to the Massey Ferguson site on the basic. So the standard gives you another level of pages. So on the standard site, you would come here and you would be directed to this page, which then breaks down the offerings by subcompact, compact, just organizes and showcases a few more of your products in detail. And then the third level that we've added that's available on the standard and the custom is the detailed product pages. So this is showing more photos, description. You can download literature and request a quote. You have a photo gallery here. This is kind of the offering we were talking about for you're able to tie in a specific offer to a product to get people to take that next step and to view details and start contacting you and getting that sale going. And then it also allows you to enter in specs, so keeps your users on your site instead of going to another site. And this is something that is managed by AGCO Direct, so as specs change, that's something that we take care of so that you don't have to worry. And then I've talked about this a little bit before, but I'll just show you. This offers plugin is available on all themes and is managed by AGCO Direct as well. So any offerings on Massey Ferguson products that you have will be updated in here. And you can also enter in your own dealership offerings or non-AGCO brand offerings within this plugin as well. And then we have a contact form that's included on all pages or on all sites types. You're not limited. And this works so any person that might fill out this information will get emailed to whatever email address of your choice, so that you'll get a notification if someone fills out this form. And also all of these will be stored within your site so that you can manage any leads within here. And it will be under entries. So you'll kind of just see, these are just tests here, but anyone who enters in will be stored within your site. Oh, and we just skip over here. So here again is the 3 different offerings, the basic, standard, and custom, just for reference and kind of our pricing for there. There's also a monthly hosting and maintenance fee of $70 after co-op. And what that covers is the WordPress updates, the plugin updates, and about an hour of maintenance a month for any changes that you might need on the site that you don't have time to make yourself.
I'm going to jump in and make a comment here too. So one of the things we've heard from a few dealers, and it's coming up more frequently, is, sometimes we get questioned about why does it cost so much? And I actually think those upfront costs are really affordable when you look at it. But I know there are some other solutions that you can get websites through where they give you the website for either free or practically free, but then they get you with monthly fees. And those monthly fees can get really expensive and really eat into your marketing budget. And so that's where we've structured ours a little bit differently, where you have some upfront cost and then it's really minimal monthly fees, because we don't want you to have to be spending, $2,500 a month just for hosting a website. So that's just something I wanted to point out that we're hearing from dealers who have looked into or are currently with some other website hosting companies.
So to kind of, if you're interested in the website program, it's really easy to kind of just get started and explore what that looks like. All you need to do is contact your AGCO Direct rep or email ads at AGCO Direct. The process, we don't need a lot from you. Basically, we schedule a discovery call. We like to see sites that you like, things that you would like to see on your site. We also like to know what you don't like about your site and features that you may not necessarily like how they currently function, or a lot of times we're finding that there's features on dealer sites that it's just too much. They don't need all of that. They want something simpler. So we like to hear all that feedback. We also just have a simple input form for you to complete and return. And basically this is just asking questions about your dealership. What makes your dealership unique? What are your offerings? What is your history of your dealership? And then also all of the products that you offer, and we use this to write the content. And then we also will go over analytics and our plan if you have Google Analytics currently that you want to implement, or if you don't have it at all and we need to get started. And then we also talk about your used equipment, what you're using, if you're using Tractor House or a different listing, and kind of figure out our game plan of if it's just an iframe or if it's going to take some custom development. We figure all of that out right away. And then from there, it's basically you can just kind of sit back. We'll write the copy, we'll build out the website, and it usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks. And then we'll send you, once it's ready, there's a few check-in points that we'll touch base with you on and have you review. And then we'll deliver a test link for you to try it out and make edits as you see fit. Then we'll train you on how to use WordPress. That's just a session where we'll just have a screen share call and go over each of the features. And then you'll also receive a training guide after that. So you're not just left to your own devices. You'll have a reference so you can go back and make changes. And then from there, it's testing and site launch. So it's a simple process. We've got it down to a science now. So we don't need a lot from you. We just kind of need that input session and that copy, and we're good to go. Right here on the right, you'll just see this is kind of like some of the questions that we would ask in that input form to get a good idea of what makes you unique as a dealership. And that is all I have. Now we can open it up for questions here. Let me see. We've got one here.
Real quick before you read into that, if you do have any questions, you can go ahead and type them into the questions box that's in that whole webinar tool. Just type it in there and then we'll answer those as they come in. And then of course, if you think of something later, just reach out to your AGCO Direct rep and they'll be able to help you as well.
Oh yeah, I have one question here. Will you have a recording of this presentation? Yep, we'll have this recording posted today on AGCO Direct. One of the questions we have here is, I have a website but want a new one. Can I use the same URL? Yes, we can absolutely use the same URL. We just figure out who is in charge of that domain name, and we can easily make that change when it comes to launch. Another question here, if I build my own website, is it co-op eligible? It is not. This is only offered through AGCO Direct. This program is the only one that is co-op eligible. And here is another one. What if I don't have time to make an update on the website? Can AGCO do that for me? Yes, absolutely. That's just a matter of contacting your representative, and we can get those changes made if you do not have the time.
Liz, what if they don't know any code? Is that going to be an issue?
Not at all. WordPress is designed for just anyone with basic computer experience. So if you use Word at all, you'll be able to use like a Word document, you'll be able to use WordPress. If you have any changes or items that you'd like to add to your site that we don't have that function built in, that's something too that we can add if it does require code. But 99% of the things that you'd want to edit on your site, you do not need to know any code. All right. Well, that is about it for questions. If you have any others, you can contact us at ads@agcodirect.com. And that is, like we said, we'll have this posted on AGCO Direct by this afternoon. And that's all.
Thanks for joining us.